Hey, what's up guys? I'm Mel from FortinAmps, and in this video, we're gonna be dialing in this tone with Bryce Van Hoosen. Alright, so if you guys dug that tone, we're going to be doing a long session where Bryce and I dial this thing in remotely. Bryce is going to be remoting in from Seattle into my setup, and we're going to be dialing in some tones together. And if you guys don't know Bryce Van Hoosen, he's a phenomenal guitar player on YouTube that focuses on shred and powerful riffs. As he described in this video that you're about to watch, he said that his home was in power metal. So without further ado, let's jump to the video. All right, so we are here at the setup with Bryce Van Hoosen. Say what's up, Bryce.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going good. I'm stoked to have you. I know we were going back and forth for a little bit, but I'm finally here with you. So I'm pretty stoked. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Bryce.
Well, I'm a guitarist based in Portland, Oregon. Like long walks on the beach, hikes, all that kind of fun stuff. Yeah.
Can I come with?
Yeah. I'd play, I guess, a style that would be characterized, for lack of a better term, as I guess like US power metal.
Nice.
So that includes a lot of different subgenres and sort of means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. I guess guitar players that I look up to, probably people like Jeff Loomis is a huge influence. And then of course you have like the old school classic stuff like Yngwie Malmsteen, Jason Becker, Andy LaRocque from King Diamond. So that's all of that stuff kind of finds its way into my playing and in the whole umbrella of, I guess, what we would call US power metal. So it gets a little heavy, progressive, old school, all that kind of stuff. So
from what I've heard, you're really good at shredding, you're really good at lead playing, and you have very nicely tuned vibratos.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I try. Do what I can.
So I'm pretty stoked about this because you're a solid contrast to the guitar playing that I've usually had on the channel, which is mainly like riffs, low on the fretboard, chugging, big beefy riffs, and then now we're gonna get some cool soaring leads.
Hell yeah. I mean, I love the big beefy riffs too, but yeah, let's mix it up a little bit.
Since we're gonna be dialing in this Mesa dual rec, can you tell me a little bit about like the tone that you're going for?
Full disclosure, the reason why I kind of wanted to sit down and sort of try to dial in a Mesa is I've never actually gelled with a Mesa dual rack before. But listening to, some of my favorite albums ever were recorded famously with a Mesa dual rack. So like Nevermore's Dead Heart in a Dead World is like classic Mesa dual rack tone. I think even Jerry Cantrell used a Mesa dual rack on some of the kind of later 90s Alice in Chains sort of stuff. I like those sounds in my ears when other people are playing them, but I guess I've never really gelled with that. Usually I kind of stick to like Marshall, sort of like JCM 800 JMP sort of territory.
Actually, the JCMs are currently where like my heart, what has taken my heart.
Okay,
but
nice.
The Mesa dual rec was early on the channel. The Mesa was kind of like where I really liked dialing and stuff. It was the Mesa dual rec or the triple rec.
Okay.
So it kind of fed from what my experience with the amp is. I don't know if you've like messed with them a lot before today, but my personal experience has kind of been like a lot of low end, which is kind of like the opposite of those Marshalls. They're pretty bright. They have
Right.
a lot of twang. So since we're dialing this in with the Blade, it's pretty cool because we can actually dial in each parameter. We can go and try to dial out like some of that low end mud unless you're looking for like a really chonky low end. And especially with your type of playing, the leads I feel like would get really thick and nice and really cut through. So those are the two kind of characteristics that I think are playing in your favor with this kind of dial-in session. So I'm pretty stoked. Before we jump into dialing in, what guitar are you using, and can you tell us about that beast you got there?
Yeah, so this is my 2021 latest and greatest Jackson RR24 from the Pro Series in gorgeous crackle red. So they really went all out on these
nice.
On these finishes. So I love that the super 80s crackle is kind of making a comeback. So pickups, I have a from my buddies over at EMG. I have a James Hetfield JH series in the bridge, and then a 66 in the neck, and it's 66 dual mode. So we got like single coil and then humbucker.
Oh, nice.
So.
Let's play around with both of those when we do this. All right, so like enough talk. Let's get to chugging. Let's get to riffing.
Oh, stand by.
Oh, there you go. All right, so right now we have everything at 12, and I feel like it might be a bit much.
Yeah, it's a little, could have a little less low ends, maybe a little bit more mids, I guess, depending on how those are voiced, and definitely a lot more treble.
So when you go through an amp, do you usually like to start with the pedal, or usually like to start with the head?
I would probably err on the side of starting with just the head, and then add the pedal in later to just kind of sweeten it up a little bit.
So do you want to turn the blade off?
Yeah, let's turn it off, and we'll see if I can kind of get like a. We did almost like a pissed off like AC/DC tone, and then add in the pedal. Yeah, so that sounded really good.
Dope. Okay, so what I did was I put the presence at about let's see, 2 o'clock.
Okay.
The master's still at 12. The gain I backed off a ton. It's at about 9 o'clock.
Okay.
My bass is at about I backed it off at about 10 o'clock. Man, I don't know where o'clock is. And then my mids are backed off. They're about 10 o'clock as well.
Okay.
And then my treble, I boosted up. It's at about 2 o'clock.
Sweet. Okay. Yeah, that's sounding cool. What is the master like on these amps? Is it kind of like a Marshall where if you turn down, it'll sort of clean it up a little bit, or are we getting more so like crossover kind of distortion where it doesn't matter?
It's about the same. So if you push the master here, you get like power amp saturation.
Okay.
So if you bring it back, I can clean it up. So do you like that?
Yeah, I think that sounds really good.
All right, so let's jump in, and do you want to add the blade?
Yeah.
All right.
Kick it on. All right, so I think let's come down on that deep a little bit, because a little bit goes a long ways with that. That sounded really good, but let's try a little bit more of the cut.
More, so turn it up.
Yeah, just midge.
Heading, I'm shredding.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe like just a little bit more of the saw. It might be too much, but
I lost the gain on the amp too.
okay, yeah, let's do that just a little bit.
Is there anything you think it needs in terms of either clarity or low-end definition, or?
I mean, honestly, I'm happy with that. Can we maybe hear it just with a little bit more mids?
Yeah, let's bring the mids back on the amp. So I have it at about 12 o'clock right now.
I think for like a rhythm tone, I might just take that, maybe back off the mids a little bit. But for a lead tone, I'm digging it with the kind of the mids up a little bit there. So
yeah,
I would say
so
slap
they cut through
some reverb and some delay on that, and call it good.
Nice. Question. I know you mentioned on your guitar you had those split coil voicings. I don't know. Is it with the EMGs? Are they actually split coils or are they more like a voicing?
Single coil. And then when I pull up, it's humbucker, so we can go from sort of like Ingve kind of thing to full thick leads. So here's it with the full humbucker. And then if we wanted to go single coil.
So I guess my biggest question is when you dial in an amp and you're messing around with switching pickups and going from single coil to split coil to to neck to bridge, are you usually dialing in your amp to accommodate for that when you're recording? Or is that something that you tend to just, hey, this is a feature of my guitar that I want to switch back and forth to?
Yeah, it's more the latter. So
okay.
Yeah, I'll kind of get the amp to where I like it and then sort of let things kind of do the rest with the guitar, I guess. So
yeah, so the guitar is more like it's another point of expression rather than like your amp trying to like carry and be your main point of expression, I suppose.
Right, exactly.
Dope. So so you think we're good with this tone?
I mean, I really like the way that the Blade is sort of set up in the fact that you have just like total kind of tonal control over the high and the low ends. You can clean up kind of a flubby sounding amp pretty easy with that cut control especially and the deep. So
do you feel like the Blade helped clean that up in this aspect?
I think so. I mean, like I said, especially with that cut feature, being able to like dial that in real nice, it sounds good. It pairs with the Mesa very well. So
yeah, I think I don't know if you listen to Whitechapel at all, but the dual rec and the grind was their signature. I think their tone on 2 album cycles ago.
Okay,
and everybody was like super about that tone. Granted, it was for like lower tuned guitars, but the Mesa and the boost is kind of a very popular thing. Like as of that album. I think it's uncommon to hear a lot of people going for something that is so beefy in the low end.
right.
But I think it kind of like is cool because you're playing a lot of leads and it makes your leads really thick, especially from what I was hearing right now.
Yeah, I thought that sounded pretty cool. And I guess the reaction to the pick attack I felt like was pretty clear as well. So a lot of times I guess with like a kind of a more beefed up low end like that, you sort of lose some of that pick attack. So
I think the Blade helps with that a lot, especially with the way that you recommended adjusting it. Having the cut set that high really, like, it's kind of like a double-edged sword. If you're a good player, it really it's really defined. But if you're more of like loose in your playing, I would definitely say the cut knob is something that really pushes your expression.
Yeah,
I've definitely felt very vulnerable using that cut that way.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I guess the beef that people would have with like a JCM 800 or something like that, or like an amp that's voiced with a little bit more of the high mid sort of range, right?
Yeah. That's where like the pick attack lies, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Sick. So any final things you want to say to the viewers?
Yeah, you know, thanks for having me. Thanks for watching. Check out my band Silver Talon. We released a new album called Decadence and Decay earlier this year, so check that out, and you can hear lots of shreddy, noodling, sort of power metal-y, you know, Nevermore worship kind of stuff, if that's what you're into.
Thanks so much for dialing this amp with me. I was super stoked that we were able to get you all the way from Portland into my little Mesa dual rec over here in Anaheim. And enough talk. Let's hear Bryce jam out on this with me in a full mix. Alright guys, I hope you guys dug that video with Bryce. It was super fun having him on the channel, and I really enjoyed his insight on tone. I'm glad that we got to dial in the Blade with him, and if you guys want us to work with other creators, please hit them up in the comments below, tag them, let them know we want to work with them, and if you guys haven't already, hit that thumbs up button, ring that bell for notifications, sub to the channel if you haven't already, and leave that comment down below. Just like I said, if you guys want us to work with some creators, tag them down below, it's going to be great. All right, I'll catch you on the next one.